They say there existed a Hindu temple of Sri Mahadev on the spot where this edifice is constructed. Hence, it is said that no cross stays fixed atop the dome. One of the most beautiful churches in Goa, this gracious old building stands in Old Goa. Although the church was originally dedicated to Our Lady of Divine Providence, it is more commonly known as the Church of Saint Cajetan, who was a contemporary of Saint Francis Xavier and the founder of the order of monks called the Theatines.
Once the Portuguese came, one thing that happened was, the Portuguese came from a different culture. And we know that, for example, in Europe, already the culture was, in certain ways, they were more organized. One thing, for example, we see the way records were kept. Now, in India and in Goa also, before the Portuguese came, we were not much aware of history, and most of the things were oral. Now, once the Portuguese came, a lot of things were recorded. Therefore, if you see in the archives, for example, you see a lot of things. So that got systematized. Then this whole bureaucracy that they brought in, the whole thing of office, administration, these things were things that the Portuguese brought in.
The church was built to have architectural similarities with St. Peter's Basilica in Rome.
The Portuguese conquered Goa, that is the island of Tiswadi, in the year 1510. Following the conquest of Goa from the Adil Shah of Bijapur by the Portuguese governador Afonso de Albuquerque, we find that many missionary orders arrived in Goa. The main purpose of these missionary orders was to convert the local population to Roman Catholicism. 3 Dominican priests accompanied Afonso de Albuquerque to Goa in 1510, and the first missionary order to arrive in Goa were the Franciscans. And the Portuguese had parceled out the various territories for their conversion. The church that you see at the back is the Saint Cajetan Church in Old Goa. The Saint Cajetan, also known as São Caetan. Now this Cajetan Church is a beautiful specimen of Theatine architecture.
Italian monks of the Order of Theatines built this church in 1665. It's crowned with a huge hemispherical dome on the pattern of the Roman Basilica of St. Peter. However, instead of 2 cupolas, it exhibits 2 quadrangular towers. The facade exhibits superb examples of Corinthian architecture. 4 statues of St. Paul, St. Peter, St. John the Evangelist, and St. Matthew, wrought in basalt, are niched within it. Within the compound of the church is an even more ancient arch with pillars covered in Hindu carvings. According to the Archaeological Survey of India, it is the only remaining part of the palace of Adil Shah.
Theatines were the last missionary orders that arrived in Goa in the 17th century, and the Saint Cajetan Church was built between 1636 to 1656. And you can see the architectural style is modeled along the St. Peter's Basilica of Rome. St. Peter's Basilica of Rome has a dome, and here also you see there is a replica of a cupola dome of the St. Peter's Basilica. A beautiful dome adorns the church.
The construction of the church and convent began in 1655 and was completed in 1661. The church is built of laterite blocks covered with lime plaster. Although small compared to some of the other Goan churches, it is heralded as being the epitome of art and craftsmanship. The sparkling white facade speaks eloquently as to the European origins of the church's architecture. The frontispiece of the church has Corinthian columns, 2 stories high, supporting a triangular pediment. The cupola is clearly visible, crowned with a lantern. The cupola, or the dome, has verse from the Gospel of Matthew inscribed around it in Latin. The interior of this church, whilst also Corinthian, shows Baroque, Rococo and Goan influences in the intricately carved and gilded work. There are 8 columns that divide the church into a nave with 6 vaulted lateral chapels. The main altar is dedicated to Our Lady of Divine Providence, the patroness of the church. Underneath the altar, there is a crypt with a vault resting on 4 pillars.
Then the other thing they brought in, and which today also we have, is the law. And I think especially the law of inheritance. I think Goa is the only place where when the inheritance is divided, it is divided equally. So if there is a girl and a boy, they will each one get 50%, which is not there in any other part of India, where only the boy gets, or how many boys are there, it is divided among them, but not among the sons, not among the daughters. So this in a way also gave much more equality to the women, and therefore you see the women are much more empowered in Goa than in other parts of India, and I think that is one of the positive things.
The cupola or the dome has verse from the Gospel of Matthew inscribed around it in Latin, which in English translates to, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you." Below the cupola, there is a 22-meter deep well, which was either part of an earlier structure, most likely believed to be a mansion, or strategically placed there in order to provide an outlet for the waters oozing out of the subsoil.
The main mystery of the church lies in the fact that in the center of the church, in the nave, there is a well. Now, what is this well about? Why a well in the center of the church? It's really a mystery of history. But as we go into our discovery of the mysteries, we find that the well was actually the tank of the temple which was here, the Mahadev temple, which was demolished by the Portuguese.
The main altar is profusely carved and backed by a gilded reredo. This reredo is unique, unlike most of the others seen in Goa. It tapers towards the ceiling and is crowned by a sun. In addition to the main altar, there are 6 more altars, 3 on either side. These altars have been profusely carved and gilded in the Baroque style, with twisted shafts and figures of angels. The 3 on the left are dedicated to Saint Clare, the Holy Family, and Our Lady of Piety, while those on the right are dedicated to Saint Agnes, Saint John, and Saint Cajetan. These altars also have painting done on canvas, many of which depict the life of Saint Cajetan.
To the right of the church, we find a beautiful pulpit, and on the pulpit we find a beautiful cashew nut motif done in gold leaf. Now this cashew nut motif was there, it's shown there because the Portuguese Jesuit missionaries had introduced cashew in Goa from Brazil. Brazil was a colony of the Portuguese, and the cashew came from there, and the Portuguese brought cashew to Goa, and today the cashew nuts are the signature souvenir items of Goa.
The convent of Saint Cajetan, built on a much smaller scale than the church, is nevertheless an imposing structure. Its closure in 1835 forced 16 Theatines to leave. It was then used as a residence for the governors of Goa when they came to Old Goa for religious functions. It now houses the Pope Pius X Institute for the pastoral training of priests.